Hi, I'm João Miranda. Thank you so much for buying Leviosa phone. This is, without a doubt, one of the most exciting projects I've invented. I had the idea for Leviosa phone by the end of 2023, I think. It's one of those crazy thoughts that just hits you out of nowhere. I was driving when I suddenly imagined how incredible it would be to make a phone float in the air. It's weird, but some of my best ideas happen while I'm driving or in the shower. It's very strange. Very early on, I shared this idea with Julio Montoro, who joined the project as a consultant and helped developing the routine. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the original Leviosa with a deck of cards. It was a huge success and I'm really proud of it. But the phone version just felt stronger. And that's because everyone knows what the phone feels like. People use it every day, so they know exactly how heavy it is. With a deck of cards, some people can't really tell how much it weighs. They might assume it's very light, which we as magicians know isn't necessarily true. But the phone is different. Everyone knows it's a heavy object, so when it starts to float, the moment becomes truly magical. Of course, turning this idea into reality was extremely challenging. Much more than the original Leviosa. Not only because of the weight, but also due to the internal structure, the placement of all the components, and especially the screen, which was one of the hardest parts. Bringing all of these elements together in a way that truly looks and feels like a real phone was one of the biggest challenges our company has ever faced. But we are incredibly proud of the final result. Now welcome to the explanation of Leviosa phone. I truly believe this illusion will become part of many magicians' working repertoire. Thank you so much for being part of the journey with us. As soon as you open the box, you will find a small welcome card with a link to this explanation video. Right on top is your Leviosa phone. You'll notice how surprisingly light it is. Underneath the tray, you'll find all the necessary accessories for the routine. I cannot stress this enough, please watch the instructions carefully before doing anything. If you don't, you'll likely break the invisible thread on your first attempt, and that can make the experience extremely frustrating. When used properly, this is one of the very few invisible thread effects in the world, along of course with the original Leviosa, where the thread doesn't break during a performance, assuming proper maintenance and care is taken. The device does all the work for you, but it's crucial that you understand how it works before you begin. Now let's take a look at what's included. One pre-assembled Leviosa phone unit. Each unit was fully assembled and tested by hand before being packed. Not a single device leaves our studio without being individually checked to ensure everything works properly. Then you have a small package containing a needle, 45 meters of invisible thread, 2 extra white spools, a pair of tweezers, a threader to help insert the thread through the needle, a small plastic tab to help remove the screen, a set of sticky dots used to attach the spools during the thread application, one USB-C charging cable, and 2 Apple logo stickers. These are optional, each one includes double-sided tape on the back so you can apply it easily. One of them can be placed directly over the small hole on the back of the gimmick, the same hole used to help grabbing invisible thread. If you decide to do this, be very careful not to place the sticker directly over the thread. Always move the thread gently to the side before applying the sticker to avoid damaging it. The second sticker can be applied to a real phone case if you want both to match visually. Now that you know what's included, let's move on. Before we dive into the instructions, if after watching them, if by any chance you still have any doubts, please reach us directly to our email support@joaomiranda.com and my team will reply you Monday through Friday. Let me begin by explaining the different components that make up the illusion before we dive into how it actually works. When you see your Leviosa phone for the first time, you'll notice a thin protective film on the screen. You can remove it. You might have questions about the glass itself, like what kind of protective films can be used, what happens if the glass breaks, and so on. But don't worry, you have created a dedicated video called Maintenance that covers all of those questions in detail and more. So if later you have any concerns about the glass or other long-term usage topics, please watch the Maintenance and Frequently Asked Questions video. Now, to access the inside of the Leviosa phone, take the small plastic tab included in the kit, yours may be a different color, and insert it diagonally into the edge of the screen. Don't push downward, instead lift it upward gently at an angle and the screen will come out. You will see that the screen is held in place with 6 magnets. To put the screen back on, simply let it drop into position and press gently around the edges to secure it in place. Let's remove it once again so you can take a look at the internal components. What you are seeing now is the inner structure of Leviosa phone. First, you'll notice the main electronic board, which is the brain of the device. On this board, you'll find the USB-C charging port used to charge the device, as we'll explain later. Here are 2 buttons that, if needed, help replacing the invisible thread and balance it evenly between both spools. This is the potentiometer that makes both motors faster or slower. You'll also see 2 white spools already set up with invisible thread. Once again, each unit is fully assembled and tested before packing. Next, there's the battery, which we'll connect in just a moment. The battery connects to a small LED board, which is the flashlight, and on the side you will also find the button board. This is the board that activates the unit when you press the button on the right side of the phone, just like a regular smartphone. Now, if we turn the device around, you'll notice a small recess, a little hole shaped like an Apple logo. If you press it with your finger, you'll see that it moves up and down. This is a custom designed and internal spring mechanism that we developed from scratch. It allows the thread to be grabbed easily in multiple ways, as we'll go over all that in the tutorial. The case also features small holes all over it that help camouflage the thread path. Every detail you can see here has been carefully engineered and balanced. Nothing was left to chance. Everything was designed to the millimeter. One of the things I'm most proud of is that the entire system is modular. This means, as you can see, if anything ever needs to be replaced, even 5 or 10 years from now, it can be done easily. Every part has connectors, the battery, the motors, the vibrator system, the circuit boards. Nothing here is glued or soldered in place. Unlike most electronics, where everything is fixed and welded in place, this design allows any part to be replaced without needing special tools or service centers. If something breaks or if you drop the device, any single part can be individually replaced by the user in just a few minutes. Now let's connect the battery. Take a look at the connector. One side is completely white and the other side has 2 small silver metal prongs. You'll need to connect it with the metal prongs facing up. Before inserting the connector, use the thumb of your other hand to gently press down the center of the small plastic piece, just like I'm doing here. Now, with your tweezers, insert the battery plug carefully. It doesn't require much force, just enough to make sure it's firm and fully insert. Make sure the battery is properly connected. If you don't use your phone for over a period of 2 months, please unplug the battery to ensure the battery will last a lifetime. Once it's in place, you can carefully reattach the screen, press around the edges and your Leviosa phone is ready to go. This was a general overview of the internal components, what they are and how they work together. Now let's move on and explain how to actually turn on the unit and start using it in performance. Before I explain how to turn on the unit, there's something important I want to mention. Leviosa phone is an electronic device. It contains motors. So, as actually stated in the product description, if you are in a completely silent environment, it's perfectly normal to hear a little bit of noise. You might hear the thread being pulled or the motors running. That's totally expected. However, in a real-world performance setting, where people are talking, there is always background noise or even a bit of music. So where, in this case, the sound is completely imperceptible. Also keep in mind, the spectators are not listening for anything, they are not expecting or looking for sounds. So trust me, it won't be a problem at all. Now let's imagine that if you are performing for just one person in a very quiet place, in someone's home with the windows closed and no ambient noise, my advice is simple. Just speak while the thread is being pulled. Just don't perform in total silence. You could say something like, watch closely, 1, 2, 3. By projecting your voice, you completely cover any motor noise. That's my personal recommendation. Before I teach you how to turn on the unit, I will first explain the different two cups that you can perform. In Julio Montoro method, you hold the phone in the left hand, and with the index and thumb of the right hand, you pinch the thread and place it over the left thumb. And then, your right index finger comes from the back. During the performance, the spectators are focused on your presentation, and you are staring at them, and therefore it goes completely unnoticed. You also have the nail method, which for me, because I bite my nails, is a little harder, where you hold the phone with your right hand and your index finger goes through pushing the spring down and then catches the thread. For the third method, which is the one I personally use, you turn the phone upside down and then your middle finger and thumb from the right hand pinches the thread, allowing space for the index finger to go through. And how Miguel from our team does is simply holds the phone like this with the left hand and casually places like this over the index, ready to perform. Now that you know the cups, practice and be careful, because if you accidentally let the thread slip from your finger, the thread will probably break. Now, before I explain you how to turn the unit on, I'll explain what happens with red thread, so you can follow along. Please, and I cannot emphasize this enough, watch what I'll be teaching with the red thread, or what will happen is that there is a very high chance that the invisible thread will break once you try it without knowing the instructions. So now, before I explain how to turn the unit on, I know I have said this several times, but it's really important that you have an understanding. Otherwise, you will turn it on, the thread will break without you understanding exactly how the trick works. So you have just learned the different two cups. Please practice and be careful, because if you accidentally eventually let the thread slip from your finger, there is a high chance that the thread will hit the phone and it will break. So please practice, it's really important. And please watch this part really. I know you want to get your gimmick and try right away, but here are some very precise instructions, especially at the very end when you remove your finger from the gimmick, that if you do not understand or if you do not really go through this part of the instructions, the thread will probably break and you will be wondering what is happening with the device. So please watch this part really carefully. So I've just a dummy phone. This is not original screen. It's just a little bit of plastic with some thread, just to explain exactly what is happening with your phone. Okay, I add a little weight here. So here is a little thread, red thread, of course, for explanation purposes. So when you turn the unit on, as I will tell you in just a moment, the thread will automatically go in what we call ITR, which stands for Invisible Thread Drill Mode. And what happens is that both motors pull the thread just slightly enough so that this happens. There is enough tension, so when you pull, it automatically goes back into the phone. So use any cup that you want, for example the Julio Montoro one, where you place his thumb and then goes with his index finger. It's totally up to you. Now, what is going to happen is that once you push the button, as I'm going to tell in the next video, what is going to happen is that you need to turn your phone to your left. So you are here and you are going to turn your phone, okay? Just like this. And you are going to place it on the floor. And normally what happens is that I like to press the button at that stage, but I'll go into that part later. So for now, I just want you to understand how the thread is and what happens. So what is going to happen is that you take your phone And I like to kneel down, just like the original Leviosa, because I think that it really adds a lot of impact into the first phase of the trick. You can also do it standing, but I'll go there into the next part of the video. So you are with your phone in this position, you turn it to your left, and you kneel down like this, and you are going to push the button, as you'll see in a moment, like this, and you are in this position. So everything that happens from the moment you push the button is all with timing, okay? Everything is timed. So you just need to wait a little bit. So what is going to happen? Now I'm going with my hand up, of course, but you just need to stay still, and about 5 seconds later, what will happen is that the phone will flip like this, okay? Just like this. Then, once you are in this position, you can stand up. Of course, now I'm just doing this with this, so you understand. So, once the phone flips, you can stand up like this. And in a few seconds, the LED will blink, the flashlight. Before it lights up, there will be a very small tension in your finger. It's very slightly. You may not actually feel it for the first time, but it's there. So right 2 seconds before the flashlight blinks, you will see the thread being pulling a little bit on your finger, just a little bit, and then it will blink. Once it blinks, a few seconds later, you just need to stay completely still like this. What is going to happen is that the phone will go like this automatically into your hand. Now, at this stage, do not remove your finger or the thread will break automatically, okay? Do not remove. Now, what is going to happen is that you will wait for one vibration. Once the phone goes to your hand, a few seconds later, I think it's 4 or 5 seconds later, the phone will vibrate. And then, yes, only then you can remove your finger and the phone will automatically shut off about 10 seconds later. So now I'm going to explain you with the real invisible thread how everything works and how to turn the machine on finally. So when you hold it in your hand, you need to push this button. When you look to your phone, to your gimmick, in the right side you need to push the button, okay? It's just the same one that you use to unlock your phone. So press it for 2 seconds. Okay, just vibrate it 2 times, release your finger, and now it's waiting for you to press it again in order to start the program. So right now the motors are in ITR mode. I'm going to place the gimmick like this, and what's going to happen again? You flip the phone to your left like this, and you place it on the floor. Okay, now push the button again to activate the program, if you want, like so. Okay. And you are going to wait for it to flip. Once it flips, go with your right hand a little bit down, as you will see, like this. Go a little bit down, and then you can stand up. From this point, when the flashlight blinks, you probably will be seeing the thread shining, but don't worry, from the front, it's impossible to see. It just blinked, and now it will blink again, and the phone will fly to my hand like this. Again, at this point, don't do nothing. Wait for the vibration. It just vibrated. Now I can remove your finger and the phone will shut off automatically. Okay? So I'm just looking through the mesh. It's just shut off and the trick is done. So it's important that when the phone flips the first time that you lower a little bit with your right hand to prevent the phone floating a little bit on the floor. Just want it to really flip because I think it even enhances more the illusion. So that's basically it. This is how you perform Leviosa phone. It's really, really simple. So again, I'm going to turn it on and now I'm going to explain how you can do it while still standing. So we are going again. Push the right button for 2 seconds until it buzzes 2 times. Release your finger. The phone is waiting for you to press the button again. You can hook up as any as you want. In this case, I'm doing the Julio one. And what is going to happen now is that you are going over and your right hand pushes towards your body. So you are like this, you push the button and you are in this position, okay? So then you wait and 1, 2, 3 to flip like this, okay? Then you can go up. Again, the flashlight will turn on in just a moment. You will see the reflection, as I mentioned. Don't worry, just from your angle. You might see it slightly, but not from the front. Don't worry. That's it. And now 1, 2, 3. It will blink and you go up into my hand like this. Don't remove your finger. Again, very important. Just wait for the buzz. It just vibrated. Now, yes, you can remove your finger. The machine will shut off and you are ready to perform the trick right away again. That's it. It's important that when you do the trick, like say 6, 7, 8 times, a few times in a row, you just casually remove the screen and see if both spools have the perfect balance of thread, okay? Because due to slight variations, perhaps what will happen over time is that a little bit of more thread can go to one spool than the other, so make sure they are even. Just watch the maintenance and frequently asked questions video where I address this part, because it's important that the thread, one spool does not have any thread. It's important that both really have thread. So that's it. That's Leviosa phone. I hope you have a lot of fun with it. Now I'm going to explain you how to perform a great switch that is really invisible. It's not my invention, it's not Julio Montoro's. I believe that Julio Montoro mentioned that he saw this like 12 years ago in a lecture in his hometown in Malaga, in the south of Spain, I believe from Gregory Wilson. This is a great switch that now, of course, we modified a little, but it's basically an amazing switch that you can literally do with the Leviosa phone. It's really, really great. So the way it works, I'm going to first show you how it looks. So during the pattern, you are going to say something. So this is my real phone. You are going to say to the spectator something like, oh, do you know what? Did already happen to you when you have the phone in your hand and you are actually looking and you just realize, oh, it's in my hand. Did you have that moment? So during this small pattern, which actually is an idea by Jack Rhodes, and I'm going to make a video on the Jack Rhodes presentation and also on Julio, so you will have 2 different presentations on how you can perform this routine. But I basically did the switch, which is really, really great. So what happens in essence is that you place your gimmick in your right back pocket, okay? And then you have your real phone. You never need to show the back, okay? Just in case. Actually, when he performed the trick, he had a very dark, different case, and nobody sees it, so don't worry. So you have your phone. It's important that you lock it. And then what happens in essence is you are going to say to the spectator, do you know what it happens to you when you have the phone in your hand and you are searching for it? And when you do that, you start tapping on your pants like this. And what happens, you have the real phone here and the gimmick here. What happens is, in slow motion, is that you tap on the front, then you tap at the back, and here is what happens. You drop your phone here to the left pocket, take your right one and pass it to your left one, okay? Of course, I'm going to do it now really, really in normal speed so you can see. So you are here, you do this, and that's it. So from the front, it really looks really, really good. So you have your phone, you can show the notifications if you do the Julio's idea. So you are here and you do this and that's it. You already switch. I've done this a million times now and it's really, really great. So this is how you perform the switch. Of course, you can also do this with a jacket, as I'm going to explain right now, but this is using like this a t-shirt in a very casual performance. Now let's imagine that you are with a jacket like this and you are performing surrounded and you really don't want anyone to see the other switch, even though it actually helps with the jacket. If you open a little bit the jacket, it helps disguising a lot. But let's say that you really want to have your angles 100% control. You can switch it simply on your pocket like this. So you show your phone and you see this page. Oh, did it happen to you when you have your phone in your hand or you place it, for example, in your pocket and you then don't remember exactly where it is? Did it happen to you? Okay, in this, which is part of the Jack Rhodes presentation that I'm going to explain in another video, it's perfect, you know, that's really perfect. So nobody's actually, of course you can switch it any way you want with the other switch of this one, but no one really understands because it really looks like a phone. So it's perfectly casual. You are here, or when you remove a Sharpie or something, you can switch out the phone and that's it. So it's another idea using, in this case, a jacket. Now let's connect to the app. Before anything else, make sure that the battery level is good. If the battery is too low, the Wi-Fi might not connect or the connection may drop. Now, press and hold the side button for about 2 seconds and you'll feel 2 vibrations and release the button. Now press the button again and this time don't let it go. Hold it for a few seconds until you feel 1 single vibration. Once you get that vibration, release the button. And that's it. The phone is now in Wi-Fi mode. At this point, allow the Leviosa phone to fully activate its internal Wi-Fi system. Just wait a few seconds. Now, turn your mobile phone Wi-Fi on and you'll find a network called Leviosa phone. Go ahead and connect to it. When it asks for the password, just type Leviosa123. All lowercase, no spaces. Now open your browser and go to the following address, 192.168.4.1. Hit enter and you will land on the settings page. Let me explain what you are seeing. By default, the mode that's selected is a 3-phase routine, and that means is that you have got 3 timings you can adjust. Number 1, phone turnover delay, which controls how many seconds the phone will wait before turning over. Number 2, blinking lights delay. This is the delay before the flashlight turns on. Number 3, delay until levitation. This is how long the phone will wait before it flies to your hand. Now if you want to do something different, let's say you want the flashlight to blink a certain number of times before the flight, then you can switch to what we call the blinking routines. Just toggle the setting and now you have got 3 new parameters. The first is the initial delay before the flashlight blinks. The second is the number of times the flashlight will blink. So let's imagine that before the phone flies to your hand, you want to guess what number of card you force to the spectator. In this setting, you can decide how many times it will blink. And finally, how many seconds of delay you wish before the phone flies to your waiting hand. You can also adjust the LED intensity and choose wherever the LED should be on while the phone is flying. The cool thing is that Leviosa phone saves your changes in the app in real time. So the moment you adjust something, it's already stored. To exit this Wi-Fi mode, just give the side button a quick press. If you look through the mesh, you'll notice that the LED will turn off, meaning your phone is now ready to perform with all your settings saved. So now let's go into the thread placement process. It's something that you need. First of all, you are going to require a glass and also grab a white piece of paper and make sure that you do this in an area that is really bright because you really want to see the thread because it's very thin, it's black. If you don't have a very good lighting and a white surface, will be very tough to place the thread. And that's it. Grab a glass, grab your thread, grab your accessories and follow my instructions, and in less than 5 minutes you'll be ready to place thread in your Leviosa phone. So let's move the screen. For that, use your thumb to open a little bit of the case and then take this plastic piece in the diagonal just like this and lift it upwards like this, and the screen will pop out just like so. So the very first thing you need to do is to grab your spool and you'll find this end, which is right here with a small sticker, and you are going to place this end on top of the spool, okay? So right now just grab it and drop the spool into a glass, okay? Now you are going to place a sticky dot over the spool and over the thread. And it's easier if you unpeel one part. Make sure that they stay as much as possible, like this. If this happens, don't worry, okay? You can still remove them from this part. It's not a problem at all. So right now, what's going to happen is that you are going to take your tweezers and you are going to grab one of the dots, like this. And it's easier if you do this actually on a white area, okay? So it's really easier for you to see the thread. So I'm going to place a thread with the sticker right on top. And then press with your index finger and remove the tweezers. Now that the thread is on top, like this, just do some turns around the spool, like this. Now that you have some thread wound around the spool, before we place into the shaft of the motor, we need to place the gimmick into the feeding thread mode, let's call it that. So first of all, we need to turn it on. So you already know, you need to press this for 2 seconds. Just buzz 2 times and let go. Now we are going to press the button. There are 2. The left one, you are going to press it once and then another time. Just like this. So now we are going to take the spool and place it into the motor shaft. It's important that when you place it, you do not place all the way till the end. Grab the spool. And you are going to place it and hold the motor steadily with your right hand. Okay. And place it. It's important that you not place it 100% through, otherwise there might be some friction between the spool and the motor. So we don't want that friction, so if you pull it all the way to the end, make sure you just remove it a tiny bit to ensure that the spool and the motor are not in direct contact. So now we have just the machine, and I like to place the spool like this to the left and hold the thread, pinch it like this and hold some pressure, just a tiny bit, because what will happen in a moment, you are going to push this button, and what will happen is that the motor will start to spin. And then by releasing the tension between your index and thumb, you will allow the thread to be fed into the spool. So let's do that right now. So I'm going to push the left button. And I just felt with my finger. So now I'm going to release, and you are going to see that the thread goes into the spool. Like this. Like this. Be careful, it's important. You can even help with the other end. So feed it like this. Like this. Perfect. You'll actually see by experience once you do it how much thread you need to place. Now in this case, what I like to do is to make sure that the whole white part is mostly covered with thread, and that's more than enough for the gimmick. So now, once you can see the spool is full of thread, you are going to push the left button again to turn the motor off. That's exactly what I'm going to do right now. And let go. So now you're going to take this piece and you are going to place it through the needle hole. You can close it like this. And now we are going to take the thread and place it just like so. As you can see. So now what's going to happen is that when you pull this piece from the eye of the needle, the thread will be automatically inside the needle. This makes things much easier. So right now, as you can see, the needle has the thread there. Once you place thread, as you will see in just a moment, you are going to pass the needle through 2 specific holes. It's very important, otherwise the phone won't be balanced. As I'm pointing here with this screwdriver, we'll see a small circle in this right side and a small circle in this left side. It's mandatory, very important, that the needle goes with the thread through these very same holes. Otherwise, the phone will not fly straight. Now we are going to pass the needle through the left side of the spool. Make sure to pass it where the small vinyl circle is. It's important that it goes through exactly that hole. otherwise the phone won't be balanced. So let's pass it now. Just like this. Now take it and pass it through the other hole. Again, it's very important that it's exactly through the vinyl. So you just need to find it. Okay, it's this one. Like this. So we have just placed thread around this spool. It went through the tiny hole, went through the outside of the phone and into this tiny hole right here. So now we just need to attach to the other spool. Okay, so just remove the thread from the needle. And now we need to attach the end to the spool, just like before. Now let's cut excess thread, like this. Now do some turns, again. And continue to give some turns, because now that we are going to place this spool there, we don't want any slack, okay? So make sure that you continue. There will be still some slack right here. So for that, you can use, for example, this screwdriver. And the screwdriver, just stretch the thread a little bit, because we don't want this type of slack. Otherwise, it can break the thread. So just use it, the screwdriver, like this. Take the tweezers, right here. So now what it's going to do is that you are going to hold this spool with your finger very lightly. Don't press it too hard. And now press the second button, okay? Which will make this motor start spinning. But you are going to then control the feeding of the thread by releasing the pressure of your index finger. So now I'm going to push the second button. Now you just need to be careful. Remove it like this. And until you see that the thread is evenly spread. Okay, the thread is evenly spread now, it seems, between both spools. Now you just need to press the button again to make this motor stop. Like this. Now let's turn the unit off by pressing the button at the right, here in the top, one time. It's off. So now let's see if everything is working properly. So let's turn the machine on. Again, press here for 2 seconds. It buzzed. Now I'm going to pinch the thread here at the back. As you can see, and you will see that the spools are moving. Let's stretch at least an arm's length. And then test the effect, and everything should be working properly. So now it's a simple matter of placing the screen, pushing the button and testing the whole routine. Again, it's important that when you do the trick like 5 or 7 times, that you make sure that both spools from time to time, let's say you do it every 5 times or 10 times, you take a look at the spools and make sure that they are evenly spread, because each motor normally is not exactly the same, okay? So one can pull a little bit of more thread than the other. So make sure that there's always roughly the same quantity. Otherwise, what will happen if you do it like a lot of times, one spool can be without thread and then it can eventually break. So make sure that the thread is always evenly spooled between both spools. Now, the Julio Montoro presentation, I really like it because it talks about technology. I'm not going to perform it because in a moment we'll see the full uncut performance beginning to end of it. But just wanted to tell you that the switch that Julio does in the beginning uses the excuse for a Sharpie. So as Julio says, is something like, now technology is really here, but you know what happened before this type of technology exists? Oh, I'm going to tell you, before this technology exists, they used they used pens. Do you believe it? They really used pens to send letters. But now, thanks to technology, is not needed. This is the beginning of Julio's routine, and then you'll see the full uncut performance, so you'll see the pattern that Julio does in this great effect. So that's it. Just want to tell that the switch with the marker is really, really nice. So, as you'll see, the pattern of Julio Montoro is really great, but the main idea is that technology is here to join us together.
I'm pretty sure that you know this, but we have plenty of notifications, right? This is so nice, this technology is so nice because we can get in contact with anyone around the world and we just get an answer in a few seconds. This is so nice. I mean, years back, this technology doesn't exist. Do you know what they used to use? Let me show you. Okay. I think I got it here. It's here. They used pens to write letters, and they shipped those letters, and they had to wait like weeks, even months, to get an answer back. Right now, with mobile phones, you get an answer in seconds. And technology, and let me know if you think about it too, but technology provokes an impact, right? Something happening in another part of the world, we can feel that impact here, thanks to technology. Let me show you what I mean. If I take my mobile phone and I put it right here, okay? And we concentrate enough, something happening in Australia, in the other parts of the earth, that impact can be felt here. What the? That impact.
Wow,
But you know, technology also likes to distract us. Can you please put your hand like this? Look at this. If we touch our fingers, it likes. Look at this.
No.
And make us look at it. But to be fair, I truly believe that technology is here to connect us together. Put your hand on top. In impossible ways. Like this. And that connection connect us.
God, hey, running some. How do you do that, bro? What the? Nah. Oh my day. What the? Yo, my heart is racing right now. How the f*** you do that?
Now, this is an idea that Jack Rhodes, when he came here to Portugal to film a podcast with us, he saw Leviosa phone and he loved it. And he gave us a great idea. And he was kind enough to allow us to share his presentation with Leviosa phone. That personally I love. I think it's really cool. And the premise, it's about Siri, as you'll see in just a moment. It's a new Siri that helps the magician finding easily the phone, okay? Thanks to the flashlight. I'm going to give you one example. This is not the exact pattern of Jack Rhodes, but it's the main idea of using Siri to perform the effect, which I really think is very refreshing. So the idea is this. So let's start. So you show your phone to the audience and say, oh, did it happen to you several times that you are with your phone in your hand and even like this, you are still looking for where your phone is? Well, you don't need to do that anymore because thanks to a new technology, a new type of Siri, that's really very easy to do. There is a type of Siri that can really help you thanks to the flashlight. It's really cool. I'm going to show you what I mean. So, for example, if I place the phone here and I say, oh Siri, hey Siri, please turn the flashlight to me, please. Siri, please turn over the phone for the flashlight. That's perfect. Thank you so much. Now that's it. Siri can really listen to you. For example, if you say, Siri, I don't know where my phone is. Can you turn on the flashlight, please? then yes, Siri will turn on the flashlight. But this Siri is very different, because if you do something like, hey Siri, bring the phone to me please, bring me the phone, thank you so much Siri, that's it. This is really a new type of Siri, and I really like this Siri, it's really cool. So this was the main idea of Jake Rhodes using the Siri as the perfect justification to everything to help you find the phone. So that's it, I hope you enjoy. To preserve battery health over time, we strongly recommend unplugging the battery from the unit if your Leviosa phone will not be used for more than 2 months. Even when turned off, the internal system draws a very small current in the microamp range, which can gradually deplete the battery if left connected. When the unit is powered on, if you notice an orange LED through the mesh at the bottom of the phone, this means that the battery level is low. While you will still likely get 2 or 3 full performances from that, we recommend charging it at this stage. To charge, simply insert a USB cable. The battery may take up to 3 hours to fully charge. This slower charge cycle helps extend the battery's overall lifespan. Once charging is complete, the orange LED will turn off. This can again be confirmed visually through the mesh in the bottom of the device. Again, if you ever need a spare battery, just email us to support@joaomiranda.com. This illusion has been engineered with modularity and durability in mind, but with any precision magic device, proper handling and maintenance are essential for optimal performance and longevity. In this video, I will go through several frequent asked questions and very important maintenance tips. About an extra phone case, just search on Google, Amazon or AliExpress for perforated iPhone case or heat dissipation iPhone case, and you will find very similar cases as you can see. Then just stick the Apple logo you received with your Leviosa phone right in the middle of your new case, and that's it. It will look like the gimmick. Now about thread breakage. I suggest that every now and then you change the thread. Let's say every 50 times you perform, ensuring the thread is always crisp and with enough strength. And also every 5 or 10 times you perform the trick, please take a quick look at both spools to ensure that there is enough thread on both. Due to micro differences and material tolerances, it's normal that one motor winds more thread than the other. To a point, there might be one spool with thread and the other one with very little thread. And if there isn't enough thread in one of the spools, the thread might break. So keep that in mind, and from time to time, don't forget to check that the thread is evenly spread along both spools. To do that, you just need to remove the screen, turn the unit on. In this case, you can see, for example, that the left spool is with very little thread. So what you will do is to press the left button and the thread will go from the right spool into the left one. If it does not move, you can help with both fingers to turn the spools or increase the power a little by turning the potentiometer clockwise. The glass used in this illusion was custom made specifically for us. It has a thickness of just 0.2 mm and was one of the most challenging components to develop during the entire project. During its ultra-thin design, the glass is remarkably durable and highly resistant to scratches. Under normal use, it will last a very long time without showing signs of wear. If you wish to apply a protective layer over the glass, please note that it must be extremely lightweight. Anything too heavy will affect the total weight of the unit and may cause the invisible thread to snap. The only recommended option is a film called hydrogel, which can be easily found online. In the unlikely event that the glass becomes scratched or broken, please contact us. Replacement glasses pieces are available at a very affordable price, and they come pre-assembled with the magnets ready to be installed in your unit. About the battery, we suggest that you unplug the battery if you don't use your Leviosa phone for a long period of 2 months, because even though with the gimmick off, the system still consumes a very tiny bit of energy. This simple operation will ensure the battery will last a lifetime. If you still need a spare battery, just email us to support@joaomiranda.com.